Hey everybody, look at this. Yeah, we are bending this stainless steel rod to be, motorcycle went by, to be a 20-inch diameter. So what you do, you adjust it a little bit, and then you run it this way through, and then you adjust it and you run it backwards through. They have a forward, reverse, and a switch, and so it goes both ways, and you just slowly go back and forth until it's the diameter that you wish. Pretty fancy, huh? But the first 7 inches will be straight, and the last 7 inches will be straight, and that's perfect because we got an 80-inch piece here, and we're looking for a 20-inch diameter, and that's about a 63-inch length. And so 63 minus 80 is a 15, I believe, and that gives a 7.5 on each end that we need straight. That we'll cut it off and won't need. So this is perfect. Our length of the rod just happened to turn out the perfect length that we needed. So we're going to keep seesawing back and forth with this until we've got a perfect diameter of 20 inches, and we will be back with more. By the way, this is for the fishnet, in case I didn't mention that. Bye for now. Paradise out. All right, everybody, we got it bent. Now we're going to try to join this like that. And pull it down some, too. We're going to put the tack wheel. Watch your face. Gonna try one more time here. This is a muscle man contest here. Gotta pull it down and join, and then we're gonna attack. Okay, gonna stay. Now gonna pop. Okay. So you can see it's not perfectly round. We really didn't get the 20-inch circumference. We got close to that, and then we kind of then we start shaping it by hand, pushing down, basically put it on the ground and push down on that point he's well looking there. Put the point down and push on the opposite side. Somehow we'll make it more round. It's not necessary. It's a fishnet, so we can live with any basic shape that there is. That shape there is perfect. So anyway, we're going to, because my battery's low, so we may not get to do much more videoing, but we're almost done. So I'm going to save the battery, and we'll be back with more important stuff, bigger stuff. Bye for now. So now we're going to try to drill the hole through for those two little L tabs to stick through. Basically the same as we did on the gas, except it's going to go all the way through because we got one bar sticking out to the left and one sticking out to the right. So we're just going to go all the way through. So there's a hole on each side instead of those little short little elbows, L things to stick out. So I may have to hold this. I don't know. Let's see if he can do it. Like I said, drilling stainless is hard enough, and now you're drilling it on a round surface, and you'll slide all over the place like that. So I'm gonna go help him. I love it when a plan comes together. So basically, we got both of them in there, and both of them protruding through the hole. He's tacking them now, and then he'll flip it over, make sure that one comes through. And then these should be in the center. This should be in the center here. Yeah, because they'll go like that. So this needs to be in the center when you weld it. Yeah, like that. And then that needs to be in the center also. Maybe you can adjust it once it's done. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. That's what we want. Exactly that. You got it. Yeehaw. Okay, so now we're going to do the final weld on that, and then we will figure out. For some reason, they want to do the ring attachment different, and I don't know why, but we'll see. We'll see what how this works best. I'm thinking right now, but I want to put the camera down, and I'm going to think. Paradise out. All right, everybody, the job I thought was difficult, this guy knocked out in just a matter of minutes. So anyway, we got both of those coming right out of the top, which is perfect. Perfecto. So next thing we got to do, he'll weld all that up, and then how are we going to connect this to this?
Welding.
Well, I know that. Not epoxy? No. Yeah, so we cut this off,
Yeah.
and then you did butt weld?
Yeah. And then we put
Braces? Okay.
and it's
Now, would it work okay to weld across, to lay it on top of here? Can you lay it on top of here and weld it instead of butt weld?
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like the net would lay on there and weld it. Would that be stronger? Than,
Sure.
than a butt weld?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's do that.
But it's already done.
Damn.
Let's continue tomorrow.
The timer ran out. Look how close we are. 30 seconds from everything's done, but the timer's out. So it's his fault. He's the one quitting on me. He's cutting out just because he's had a hard day and stressing with a lot of difficult things. He's really the man. He's been doing a great job all this time. Everything he's done is just perfection. So his name's Dan, by the way. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Paradise out. Hey, everybody. This is basically what we're looking at here. This isn't welded yet, but it's welded here. Where the little L tabs come out, there we'll re-weld that solid and grind it and buff it. It'll look just like this. Surface here, you won't even see the weld when it's done. But we got to re-weld this, and then we're going to weld this hoop, that loop right there, onto here. And then we're going to take some of this wad here and go from the edge of the loop back to here somewhere. Back to the side somewhere. I don't know where, but back to the side somewhere. We got to figure that part out. And then that is it for the fishnet and all the other little odds and ends I'm having made. So waiting for my welder to eat. And then we will be back with more from my Paradise on Bantayan Island. Just about to put the hoop on the fish net. Paradise out. Hey everybody. Polishing, grinding up this weld here on the ring where we joined it. Does it look pretty? Get all the rough stuff off. After that, we'll weld it on. Well, we'll weld these first, and then we'll weld it onto there. So we will be back with more as soon as the grinding's done. Paradise out. Folks, we're getting ready to weld this tip up here. So we're gonna, weld that cap on there, and then weld those two rods to the cap. So it's hard to get in there. The camera angle. There we go. That's what we're welding right there. We'll cut those two in pieces even, of course, one of them turned out to be a little bit longer, but we'll cut that before we weld onto the hoop. The hoop. The shoop hula hoop. So, let him do that. Paradise. Okay, we did a lot of the grinding. Now we're putting the polish on these the spots where we drilled the holes through there and put those little L tabs sticking through the outside. That keeps this rod from being pulled out, basically. Kind of a strain relief and a kind of a safety measure there, so you don't pull the rod out of there if something ever cracked or came loose. So that'll look like just like this, basically. When they're done, you can't even see the welds. Everything looks like it's just one factory form piece. Really nice job. So we'll be back with more. Making her shine. Paradise out. All right, we welded on the little half sphere cap on the opposite end of the net. Just the back end, and then we got to bend this rod right here into a 1-inch U and weld it on the sides of that, just like we did with the gas. So I keep looking at the flash, and now I got green dots in front of my eyes. So. I will be back with more Paradise out. So this is what the finished end looks like. And then we'll weld the hoop across here. I would check that. Might be hot. Yeah, that's hot. The friction from the buffing makes it really hot. I mean, hot enough to melt plastic. But that's it. That's how they polish them up and make them look beautiful. So we will do that. Do the hoop. So the little bar, the little U-shaped clip for the carabiner to the rope to the boat, so we don't lose the net. Paradise out. Hey, right now we're trying to make the 1-inch bend here. Okay. We're getting close. We're getting close. Trying to figure out how to do this. Normally you would take, if you want a 1-inch bend, you use like a 3/4 or like a 1/2 inch or 5/8 inch pipe, because the bend will always be bigger than what the pipe you're bending it around in. And if you want a 3-inch bend, you use like a 2-inch pipe. You use a bigger pipe, a smaller pipe than what you want your bend to be, because it'll never snug up all the way like it should. It'll definitely be larger. So, but what we're doing, we're using the brake out here, figuring out a way. And then you can put this inside the hammer, and that gives you more leverage. Trying to finagle a way to get this thing to hold and let us bend it at the same time. Maybe you just hammer that down. If it'll stay put. Anyway, we're going to fidget with this, and we'll be back with more with my Paradise up in Nyan Island. There you go. He found the clamp. Bye for now. Paradise out. There we go. Now we got it. We got the technique down now. We got the 1-inch pipe in there. We're just hammering it around there. Roll like that. Yeah. Up more space here. A little bit. That's good. Perfect. Yeehaw. Got it. Okay, now we're gonna cut that thing, buff it, weld it, grind it, polish it, do all the beautiful cosmetics, and we'll have a carabiner loop to clip this bad boy to the boat so we don't lose it when we're fighting the big fish. Our hands are wet and it's all slippery. Paradise out. All right, we're putting the weld on the hook now. He's gonna put the finishing, well, he got our tack, now he's just gonna weld it all the way. So, Paradise out. All right, you missed the marking of the cutoff for that, but I'm sure you'll be fine without it. We're gonna cut these, the ends were a little bit, they weren't really measured for this, they were just what we had left over from bending the circles, which is the perfect length. So we're gonna cut these guys off now. Yeah, now we can round those, right? We'll smooth these rounds. We're gonna smooth those rounds so they don't catch the net and stuff, snag the net. You got the grinder there. You gotta do top and bottom too, doing left and right. Yeah, all the way. I think it's catching the top and bottom part. Maybe now it is. Let me help him. He's missing the point here. Communication breakdown there, but we're on board now. We got them rounded. Little round balls, just so sharp points don't catch the net or, scar up the fish. Not that we're not going to scar the fish anyway with a fillet knife, but, for the photo op, we got to have pretty fish. Bye. Here we go. Yeah, he's putting a little polishing brush on it now. Oh, yeah. Beautiful nub. Two little beautiful nubs. So we will be back with more in our Paradise on the Italian Island. Paradise out. All right, everybody, we're doing the all-important hooking the hoop to the pole. Now we're going to try to make sure it's centered. Pretty sure it is. It looks pretty close right now. Maybe a little bit that way. All right. If you like. We're getting her centered. See, pull a little bit to the right there. That's what I thought too. So his eyes and my eyes are lined up. We're good? Very precise for a fish net. They don't be lost. excited when we're trying to snatch that big boy. It's a little sweet. We good? The rod back. The straightening rod, the divining rod. Okay, we're ready to weld. There we go. And then we're going to weld a couple of little angle braces over from here and here. And I got to figure out how to do that. So while he's welding, I'm going to be thinking. Paradise. All right. We're just calculating the side angle support. It's a foot long. And then we're putting the little angles on it so it goes in on the side. And it's beautiful and supportive. We want to be very supportive here. I don't know how big of a fish this thing will hold, but that's 3/16, that may be 1/4 inch stainless steel there. But it's still got some flex to it, so it's not unbendable. But if it's too big of a fish, we'll use the gaff. And we'll hopefully we'll catch a lot of big ones, and we'll never use the net. It'll always be the gaff. Paradise out. What we got here. Got this bad boy, and hopefully it's not hot. We're gonna go from here to there. See that? That's sport. And I may run another one from up here on the top side over to here. Just as a secondary, tertiary brace. There we go. Boom. Looks like a basketball hoop, doesn't it? If only all basketball hoops were that big. You imagine what the scores would be in the NBA? Let's go like this. No. Let's let them down. There we go. So we're gonna attack that bad boy in. But I gotta adjust that in just a minute. I'll be back. All right. We're coming in and putting the tack on this bad boy. On the braid. So we get the right level here. That in-ear little polishing pad is the right level. Looks pretty good. Put a little tack on that bad boy. Voila. Now we'll do the finishing weld. And then, like I said, I'm going to come back and we're going to put another little angle across here, I think, to just strengthen the connection here at this point and maybe give it a little less flopping. Maybe. We'll see. I'm going to give it a little flop test after he finishes welding these, and then we'll see. Paradise out. All right, we're putting the real weld on here. Well, I think he's still tacking somewhere. There we go. A little tack here, a little tack there, a little tack everywhere. Rear tack there, tack everywhere, tack, tack. Old Levi had a welding shop. E-I-E-I-O. That's Levi. They tell me his name is Levy, but it's spelled L-E-V-I, so I'm calling him Levi. Here we go. Now he's going to put the final weld. Got sharpened his pencil. That's his tungsten rod there. That's electrode, basically, for the torchier. And there he goes. Now he's going to town. By the way, folks, I did buy a TIG machine, so I got to start learning how to TIG weld. But it looks easier than stick welding, and I have TIGged at the place where I bought the TIG welder for the first time, and it really is a very nice way to weld. I mean, from my 3 seconds of actually welding. So anyway, here we go. Welding the final thingamajig on the ring and the hoop. Paradise just gave it the big fish test. Basically grabbed the end of this and started pushing down as hard as I could. Not really as hard as I could, you can't even bend it, but as hard as I think a fish would ever go after it, or harder. And it gave a little flex, which is fine, but it didn't feel like it was flopping or nothing. That was the test, the flop test. I gave it the flop test, and it passed the flying colors. So we're polishing all these welds up now. And we'll be back with more polished welds for the fishnet. This is the final touch here. This is it. Other than putting a net on there, I had to go down to the boat builder guy, Celso. He's a fisherman, but he knows how to tie nylon so it doesn't come loose. You know, like a continuous loop where he's looping and tying and looping and tying. So if one loop cuts, the other ones don't come loose. He knows how to do that, and I don't. And so I may see if he will do this net. I may experiment with doing it myself, but I think he'd be the better man for that job than me. So Paradise out. So what we're doing right now, we're going to put this netting on there. What we're doing, we're just temporarily tying it with these tie wraps here, and then I'm going to take it over to the fisherman that slash boat builder that's building my boat, and he knows how to tie proper loops and hoops and things like that for nets and everything. So I'm going to have him do the final tie. We're just he'll use fishing line, you know, like a 40-pound monofilament line to tie it all up, but he ties it in such a way that if one line gets cut, all the other lines don't come undone. It's just a cut there, and everything else works just fine. So that's the cool thing about him. So anyway, we're gonna start doing this, and I'm gonna have to switch to my hat cam because my cell phone, it's gonna take 2 hands to manage this here fishnet. And there's different sizes of these fishnet too, by the way. Well, they were here, but my wife took them and moved them somewhere. But anyway, there is a bigger net. Well, there's a black net too, roughly the same size as that one, the same holes and everything, same strength. And then there is the more black net. And then there is the bigger net. See this, with holes that big. And conceivably you could I could conceivably use that, but the problem is if I ever try to scoop up bait fish, they can go right through these holes. They're small enough they'll go right through them. So I'm not using that green net, I'm using this green net. And I'm going to use that black net because I think the green net is prettier. So we're going to get busy, and you'll get to watch, because like I said, it's not going to be exciting, but you'll see the process to just temporarily connect this net onto here and how we do it. It's going to basically tie wrap it to roll it up to the whatever length, and I really need more of these little short ones. I need about, I don't know, 5 times that much. But I got this one package here, and I can't go to the store because outside, you may or may not have seen it, but it's flooding. See right there? That's water. That's the yard right there. It's flooded. So we can't get out right now. So I'm going to have to make do with what I got. So we will be back with more from my paradise on Battalion Island. Yeah, baby. Oh, those are our fishing rods here. I got these just recently here. These two. I got a 6,000 and a 5,000. 5,000 is for my wife. The 6,000 for me. I got an 8-foot rod and a 240 centimeter rod and a 180. So my wife is a 180. I'm a 240. And then these are our other rods. These are just rods we bought at the U.S. and Walmart. We used to catch big catfish with these 12-pounders about as big as we caught, but they work fine for that. So they'll be good ocean rods too. Maybe a little bit beefier than these, or maybe the 6,000 is about the same as that one, but that one looks a little larger, like a 7,000. And then the 5,000 is for my wife, and that's for these really are for light casting light lures because the tip of the rod is really thin. These is a fiberglass rod and it's really stiff, so it's hard to really give a long cast with that. There's not much flip action, flipping. It's just a stick basically. You don't get that extra spring from the graphite. These are carbon graphite rods here, by the way, too. The new ones are. So we are going to get back to instead of catching the fish to netting the fish. So Paradise out. All right, everybody. Hopefully we got the camera angle on the hack cam right. These are the little tie wraps we're going to use to tie this net onto here. And I wish I had another bag of these, but this will have to do us for now. Hopefully we got plenty. I'll give these to my wife. She's helping. And what we do first, this length here is basically the circumference from here all the way around to there. It's a little bit longer than that. So somehow, okay, let me hold this up. So we have to come from over here and somehow loop this around. And I don't know, do we go from inside out? I think from inside out, just to make a smooth transition here. So we can put this one here, and we'll start with this one and see what happens. This one through here, and I may need to put on my glasses, but so far I can see. Okay, so that's the first one there. And again, I am going to put on my glasses so I can see a little bit better. Okay, got them on my shirt here. Okay, and we're just going to walk around this thing, putting these on. Basically, I guess I should pull that tight against there so I got something to pull it tight against. But here we go. Okay, so that's basically the net. Now we have the depth. How deep do we want this net to be? So let's pick all that net up. We're going to lay it down, pick it up. We're going to lay this down. And now we're going to go like this. You have to go straight up. Hold that net. Well, you have to hold it so it's in the circle that it's supposed to be. Like that. Okay, so that is how big it is right now, but of course we don't want it that big. We want to sew up here. We need to spin it around. I'm gonna have to get on that other side. Okay, so I'm gonna get on this side, and we're going to, if you wonder where we're at, we're in my brother-in-law's spare bedroom. He's built a second story onto his house, and we're in his second bedroom right now. Okay, so this one starts right here. Okay, so we'll just kind of loop it through here, and we'll just work our way up. Okay, so if we get a 3-foot fish in here, I mean, we can gaff a fish too, but sometimes you may not be able to gaff a fish for some reason, or you may just want to net a fish. So somehow we need to kind of bring this to a cone shape. I think that's deep enough there, and we almost need to bring it somehow hold this. Somehow we need to bring it to a closure. And maybe we just go straight across. Yeah, we'll go straight across here, and it'll just be like a, well, I'm thinking right here. Well, right about here, okay? Tie wrap. I'm gonna have to get the yellow ones out because we're running out of red ones. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it straight across the bottom seam. I'm not gonna gather it up because it gets too small. I'm going to just go across here. Just do it straight across. Voila. We got a fishnet. And then we'll cut this excess off from here down. And that's actually turned out pretty straight, so that's pretty even there, but you can see the basic shape and size of this net. Plenty big for anything. I mean, even a gaff sized fish we could just net if we decided to. And we are done. We're done. And after it's all sewn here, then we'll cut this, or maybe we'll cut the bottom part so that he can sew it. Yeah, I think we're going to have to cut it so that he can sew it, because he's going to roll this up and sew it. So just pull that tight. Pull that tight. And we will cut it right here, and then he can sew. I don't get too close because we'll roll that up. And again, if it's shorter or longer, it's not going to matter at all. Voila. One net mocked up. I guess we could call this getting it mocked up for sewing. So that's pretty good. That's a good net. You see? So yeah, look at that, boys and girls. Looks pretty dang good, huh? Pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. Yeah, and this is plenty big here. I made it just, I think, the right size. I'm going to make 18 inches, but it looked just on the verge of being small, and I went 22. So anyway, there we go, boys and girls. One fishnet. Check it out. Woo, I feel like I'm ready to scoop up. Oh yeah, that's a tuna. Maybe that's a cobia. Maybe that's a mamza. Mamza is a GT, by the way. Maybe it's a tanigi. That's a king mackerel. Maybe it's a wahoo. They don't have a name for a wahoo, so it'd be a wahoo, which is cousin to the king mackerel. So we're good. We're good to go. So yeehaw, we're done with the net, and Paradise out.